Yes.
Okay.
So, I am sitting here with Bernie Nicholls in beautiful Las Vegas. Hi, Bernie.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
We have Bernie with us. He is, of course, the National Hockey League All-Star forward. He was an explosive scorer who accumulated over 1,200 career points while playing for 6 NHL teams. Born in Haliburton, Ontario, he grew up in nearby hamlet of West Guildford. But he started his NHL career with the Los Angeles Kings, was a consistent scorer for the Kings, and one of the NHL's most dangerous threats while shorthanded. In the aftermath of the acquisition of Wayne Gretzky in 1988-89, Nicholls set career highs with 70 goals and 150 points while finding the net 21 times on the power play. This same year, Nicholls went to the NHL All-Star Game again and represented the Los Angeles Kings as he did back in '84. As a result of the Los Angeles Kings needing grittiness, Nicholls was traded to the New York Rangers for gritty forward Tomas Sandstrom and Tony Granato. During the 1990 playoffs, Nicholls scored 12 goals in 10 games while helping his new club reach the second round. We in Los Angeles got used to seeing Bernie doing the pumpernickel, an arm-churning celebration when he scored a goal. Let's welcome Bernie Nicholls.
Thank you, Deb.
Hey, Bernie. So, what was it like growing up in Haliburton, Ontario? Was it like hockey skating at the age of 2?
3.
3?
Absolutely. Everybody in Canada skates. I think that's all we do, right? And I think we're very fortunate. Where I grew up, small town, we could go on the lakes, shovel them off. We had an ice rink at our little school. And our hometown, my hometown, there's only like 150 people in there, but we had a little ice rink at our school, and you know, 10 miles away is a bigger town, Haliburton, and we had a lot of opportunity to play there. And it's not like the city where a lot of times you're playing at 6 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock at night. We had perfect time for ice there.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. How was it like? So, did you always know that you wanted to play for the NHL?
Oh, absolutely. I think, you know, every kid in Canada grows up with the dream of playing the NHL. And, you know, I played hockey 12 months a year. I would, well, you know, I did other things, but we'd be playing ball hockey in the summertime. Anything. We skated as much as you can and played hockey all the time. And all you ever want to do is play in the NHL.
Wow. Well, so then you got into the NHL. What was the feeling of scoring your very first goal?
Well, like every NHL player, everybody loves to score goals, and I obviously did. Mine was actually in Colorado. I had a breakaway on Glenn Chico Rush. He was one of my favorite goalies. He used to be with the Islanders, and I deked him and scored. And I actually got a picture. Someone from the stands, this is back in the 80s, someone from the stands took a picture and sent it to me, and I got it with my jersey, puck, and that picture. So
how amazing.
It's pretty cool.
Amazing. Now, obviously, let's get into the trade that changed hockey in Los Angeles forever. The Wayne Gretzky trade. What did you think when you heard that news?
I said, there's no chance in hell that just happened. I was actually on a golf course in Lake Tahoe playing that celebrity golf tournament, and Jeremy Roenick actually said, I heard you guys just traded for Wayne Gretzky. And I knew Bruce McNall real well, and I went, you gotta be kidding me, right? Like, can't believe this. And you know, find out that obviously it happened, and I was like every other kid. I was thrilled to death.
Now, obviously, you had a phenomenal season the first season. 70 goals, 150 points. You were one of 8 players that have done that in league history. What did that do for your play? Like, it amped it up so high. Did it just like give you another level of what you were capable of?
Yeah, you know, I think with anybody, having the opportunity to play with Wayne, arguably the greatest player to ever play, Wayne brought the best out of everybody, and you know, for me, it was no exception. I played with Luke Robitaille, Dave Taylor that year, two great hockey players. I killed penalties with Wayne, played with Wayne on the power play, so I got to play with Wayne a lot. So you were just excited to play every day, and obviously when things start going well, then you just can't wait to get the rink and you can't wait to play. And for me, it seemed to go well pretty much all year.
Yeah. Now, you guys used to practice at the Culver City Ice Arena, which is no longer. What was that experience like? I know that I've read that there were a lot of problems, but was it home to you?
Oh, absolutely. You know, and back then, you look at the practice rinks now, it's like, you know, they're like state-of-the-art buildings, and back there, our practice rink wasn't even close to being even half as good as any of the other ones in the league. It was like in the corners, the puck could go underneath the boards, and we had to dress upstairs. We'd walk down, it was cold, but you know what, that's what it was, and we all liked it, and it was our practice rink, so we made it home.
Yeah, I know. It's too bad it didn't stay open. What was your relationship with Gretzky in that time period? Like when you went on the road, were you close? Did you hang out with him? What kind of relationship did you guys have?
I kind of had a unique relationship with Wayne, and I've asked different people from Edmonton if he, you know, kind of had one or two guys he hung with all the time, and you know, I hung with Wayne every day, every road trip. Wayne and I were together, no matter what. Every day we were at home or on the road, we hung together. It was unbelievable. For me, it was a great year and a half. Obviously, you know, getting traded, I've always said I don't know what it'd be like to play with Wayne for 5, 6, 10 years. It would have been obviously pretty cool.
Now, you also, I would assume that your life changed after the trade. What was it like in LA after the trade, in playing hockey where there was that much attention now?
Well, you know, once Wayne came, we started getting attention, you know, which was great. For me, I get traded to New York. There was as much media in New York as anywhere, because I know when I started in LA, we may have had 2 reporters at a game. You know, Gretzky comes and there's 15 every day, you know, which is great. And when you're on the road with Wayne, same thing. And same thing when we weren't on the road with Wayne, unless we were in Canada, there was no one really cared, right? So Wayne definitely brought the attention there, and you know, and since then, LA's been great for that.
Do you keep in touch with him?
I've done his fantasy camp a few times. If I ever wanted to get a hold of him, I could. Always like seeing him. You know, I've seen him at different times, and you know, one thing about Gretz is he always has time for you. If he's seen you, he would stop and he would talk to you. I know my kids seen him one night at a restaurant, and they were younger, but they walked up to him and said, you know, told him who they were, and he sat. I think he bought him a drink or something, and just that's Wayne. Wayne is, you know, and you got to remember, arguably, like I said, the greatest ever, and it's tough for him to be out and stuff, and you know, because he'll get mobbed, but he has time for you, and I really like that.
He seems very humble. I remember meeting him a few times, and because I knew Marty very well,
right?
And I was good friends with Marty, and he just always seemed very humble.
Yeah, absolutely. He was quiet, but you know, what an ambassador for the league. There's no one better.
Yeah, I agree. So with that same trade, you know, Gretzky would not come over without Marty. So did you feel safer on the ice with Marty around?
Well, when Wayne was there, we had as tough a team as any. We had Marty McSorley, Jay Wells was there for a little bit, Larry Playfair was there, Kenny Baumgartner was there. We traded, we got Jay Miller. If we didn't beat you by 5 or 6 goals, we were going to kick I wasn't, but we had guys that did. So, oh, you absolutely felt safe. You know, each one of these guys, they knew what their role was. But the thing is, too, the teams had respect for Wayne and the guys that they weren't going to cheap shot us, because they knew if they did, they had to deal with the other guys. So they played us hard, which is fine, but they weren't dirty about it.
Oh, that's good. Now, what was your fondest memory from your time in Los Angeles?
Oh, wow. You know, that's such a tough question, because, you know, as a player, they say, what's your greatest, you know, just playing. You know, your first game you ever played, your first goal you scored. You know, the night I scored my 70th goal, just playing with Gretz. I scored 4 goals in the Forum one night, you know, and to hear the fans chanting your name, it's like, the year Wayne got traded, we played Edmonton, and we beat them in 7 games at the Forum. We were down 5-0, Miracle on Manchester, we won that. Like,
there's so many.
Yeah, like we could take up this whole interview just on that alone, right? Like, it's unbelievable. Like, well, it was later, but when I was coaching with the Kings, won the Cup, I had my daughter on the ice, her and I holding the Stanley Cup. Like,
oh my gosh, what an experience!
Yeah, so I could go on for days about memories in LA. I had, like, it was unbelievable for me.
Was it your favorite team? Like, in your career, what was your favorite place to play?
Well, probably LA, because it was my first team. You know, I was fortunate. I got to play for 2 original 6 teams. I got to play in New York. I got to open up the United Center in Chicago, even though my favorite building of all to play in was the old stadium in Chicago. That thing was ridiculous. You know, you climb upstairs, it's a small rink, there's 22,000 people right on top of you. So, and then as a Canadian, you know, every Canadian boy loves to play in Canada. I got to play in Edmonton, so I can't say I played in San Jose, which was great. I played in New Jersey. We had an unbelievable team in New Jersey, so every team I played was great, you know, but obviously LA was, they drafted me. I spent the longest time there. I still have connections there. I still love watching them play. Still have friends playing there. So, you know, it's LA all day.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I get it.
And I still got my LA gear on. I'm wearing it.
Yes,
know, like, I still do that. Yeah. I even go to a hockey game here and
cheer for LA.
Yeah. So
that's great. I love it.
Yeah.
So, you speak highly about Chris Chelios. Tell us about your time playing with him on the Blackhawks.
Yeah, I've said different times, and you know, for me, obviously playing with Wayne, there was nothing better. And like I said, I would have loved to play with Wayne for 10 years. If I could play with one guy my whole career, I said it would be Chris Chelios. When I got to Chicago, like, I've never worked out a day in my life, basically, to play. And Chris was so much about hard work. He taught it to work on and off the ice, you know, and there was no one that worked harder, competed harder ever than him, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you know, he played till he was almost 50, still in great shape.
Whoa.
And so I have so much respect for Chris. I love him to death, and what a guy. I had so much fun playing with him. And you know, we'd go on the road, and first thing we'd do when we get in, we'd go to a gym, go in a sauna. We're working out in a sauna, doing push-ups, sit-ups in a sauna.
Oh my God.
You know, and I never worked out, like I said, in LA. I get traded. It was after the coach at the time, you know, we were supposed to ride the bike. We had the day off, and I was one of the stars. I did an interview. I was there late, so I didn't ride the bike. And so he says, "Did you ride the bike after the game?" I said, "No." I said, "I haven't rode the bike in 9 effing years. Why would I ride a bike now?" Right? So that didn't go over very well. But you know, but the kids do that now. They're in such good shape. They train so hard, and we didn't do that back then. But I did when I got to Chicago because of Chris.
Wow, amazing. So obviously, since '89, '90, you know, and since you've been out of hockey, the game has changed so much.
Right.
So much. And the enforcer doesn't really exist anymore.
No.
It's a lot faster game. You know, you're hitting the boards at amazing speeds now. And it's amazing that there's actually not more injuries. But how have you seen, like, how would you adapt to the game now if you were playing?
Well, I think it's easy for a skilled player to adapt because they're opening it up and they're making it easier for them. There's more power plays, taking away the red line. But it is so much faster now. The kids are so much bigger and stronger, faster. Like you said, they've taken the enforcer out. But I honestly don't think the kids today have the respect for other players that our guys did. You know, I seen a great show on TV, Kelly Chase, St. Louis. He said, you know what? We didn't run Stevie Eiserman or Fedorov because if we did, we knew we had to deal with Bob Probert and Joey Kosher.
Right.
So they didn't do it. They played them clean and hard, which is great, but there's no cheap shots. Nowadays, you know, there's so many cheap shots and stick work. And I've said this, and I'll say this to the day. Like, I still, for the life of me, with Pittsburgh and Crosby, I'd have the biggest, toughest guy in the game, or I just have him sitting on the bench. And I would tell the other team, you touch my guy, because they beat the shit out of the city. They do.
Yeah.
And dirty.
Yeah.
You know, you play him clean, he's fine with that, but they're dirty. And if you touch him, I'd beat the hell out of him, and then I'd beat the hell out of your toughest player, or your best player. You suspend my guy, that's good. I got 5 other guys waiting, and you know, I would do that. Like, I honestly, I love the game hard, hit it hard as you want, as clean as you want, but there's no place for dirty play, stick work, stuff like that. So that's why you still need, in my opinion, you need the enforcers there, so they don't take liberties on your skilled players. And you know, Pittsburgh's a prime example. They beat the hell out of Sid, and you wonder why he snaps, you know, at times, because you can only take so much, and you got to give it back. So
absolutely,
that's what I do.
Were you able to view the film Ice Guardians by Andy Scorgi, where it's about enforcers?
I think that's the one. Was that not the one with Kelly Chase?
Yeah,
said that?
probably.
Yeah, I like that.
Now, yeah, I mean, the fact that the enforcers, they have brought up, that movie brought up so much, I think, controversy as to why the enforcer is so important. And it isn't that those guys are just going out there just to beat people up. It's because they're there for a reason.
Yeah. You know, Dave Semenko, Marty McSorley, you know, Dave Semenko played a huge role in Wayne's success, and no one would be dirty with Wayne. No one would take cheap shots. No one would try to hurt him because of those guys. So, you know, the enforcers, in my opinion, enforcers there just to protect, so you don't do stupid things to my best player. You don't do stupid things, then we're all good. You can check them, be clean with them, hit them, you know, if you get a chance to hit them, but hit them clean.
Right.
Don't be whacking them in the hands. Don't be cross-checking them in the back of the head, punching them in the head. Don't be doing that, and we're good.
Right.
So that's what the enforcers were there for, that. And you know, they're kind of taking that away. So now you see so much stick work and so much dirty play because of that. Hits from behind, you know, elbows in the head, you know, dirty plays, because no one's going to do anything about it.
No. And the ones that are on the ice for those reasons do get a lot of penalty minutes, because they look at them.
Yeah.
And they watch them, and they're like, oh, okay, well, he's out there for that.
That's right.
But the thing about the enforcers and the game back then, though, is you have a big point about respect. There was a lot of respect.
Absolutely.
Even though the enforcers did what they did, they respected each other.
That's right.
They would choose times that were better than others. And it wasn't a matter of, like, aggression.
That's right. Yeah. To me, there was a lot more respect back in the day than there is now for guys. You know, you never really seen guys running guys from behind, cheap shots the way they do now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
No. What who was your most influential person in your career?
Oh, my dad by far.
Oh.
Yeah, from the word go, you know. I remember taking face-offs in our kitchen floor. My mom going nuts because my dad and he's teaching me how to do face-offs and the importance of a face-off. And he was my coach in minor hockey and stuff, and by far, he was the guy.
Now, what did Wayne teach you that you didn't know before?
Well, I just think being prepared, you know, and Wayne was every night. I remember Wayne would just come over to me privately, and I'm not saying he didn't do this to everybody, but he did to me. He'd just come over and give me a little tap on the knee pads, just quiet. He's just like you and I right here, and said, "Look, we need you tonight." And in your mind, you're going, "Oh my God," you know, like. But you did. You just went out and you just wanted to, you know. And it's not for Wayne; it's for the team, and you realize that, right? And one thing I know about Wayne is, and this was always tough because when you're playing, if you're up 4-5-1 or something going in the third period, it's like, okay, let's just get this game over. Well, Gretzky's seen blood, right? Like if you're up by 3, he wants to be up by 5. If you're up by 5, he wants to be up by 10, and he wouldn't stop. And I know that, and I know why. Like I remember him telling me before. I heard, you know, with his dad. His dad said, you know, these people come out and they pay good money to watch you play, and they want to watch you play good every night, always. You know. So Gretz never took a shift off. He never took a game off. He played hard every day, and I respect, you know, why he does that. And you know, I definitely learned that as well. So.
What would be, I know that your retirement was not what you wanted it to be or when you wanted it to be. If you could choose anything that you wanted your career to end like, what would it be?
Well, winning would have been nice to win. You know, I kind of had a deal when I went to San Jose. I met with their general manager, Dean Lombardi,
who became the LA Kings
right.
general manager.
And we had an agreement that, you know, at that time I was the #1 centerman, but we had, you know, Patrick Marleau was just signed as, you know, 18-year-old, and my role was to play, and then when he took over, I'd take a lesser role, and I love that idea because I love working with kids, I love helping people. And so when that time came, Daryl Sutter at the time, his brother Ronnie was there, and he was playing that 4th line role, and so Daryl said, you know, he wanted Ronnie. And not that Ronnie was the better person for the job, but I understand Daryl, it's his brother.
It's his brother.
But okay. Dean, being the general manager, doing what's best for the team, should have stepped up, and he didn't, and it pissed me off. And to this day, I have absolutely no respect for him. You know, he tells me 2 years later, or whenever, you know, we screwed up, should have done that. You screwed up because you had no balls, and you wouldn't stand up to your coach, and you didn't do what was right for the team. So, as you can see, I'm still a little upset with it, and it's 30 years later, so, or whatever. But
well,
that kind of bothered
me
because I would have liked to played longer and helped the kids and played that role for a couple of years. So, and that's why I went there. That was the deal that we had when I signed there, because I could have went somewhere else, but that was what we agreed on, and so you didn't keep your end up. So that was kind of pissed off about that.
So you would have played longer. Like how many more years?
I wanted to play for 20 years, so I would have had to go play 2 more years, finish that year, and played probably 2 more years, which I could have done easily because still in good enough shape, and to play a lesser role and help people, I could have done that easy, and it would have been good for the guys too.
Man, that sucks. Okay, let's get into your business, because you've got a thriving business. Tell us about All Sports Marketing and how does it work?
It's the first ever real money sports stock market. you can go on right now to allsportsmarket.com. You can sign up. Sign up's free. We have a free version. We have a real money version. You can go on and you can buy shares in the LA Kings, the Lakers, the Rams, you know, any sports team. It's performance based. If they do well, you get paid dividends on their wins. It's not gambling, even though they're going to make gambling legal. It's definitely not gambling, because you make an investment. If you bet on the game tonight, say the LA Kings are playing, and you bet on that game, that bet will expire. When the game's over, you either win or you lose. When you make an investment, it doesn't. You can hold on to it for as long as you want. It's not gambling. And there's such a gray area because people are thinking that it's gambling. Well, you know, if you play the stock market, you know, you can say that's gambling if you want. It's not, but I mean, it's a gamble.
Right.
So you can buy shares, and the cool thing is there's so many things you can do, you know, as a fan. So LA King, I get shares in the Kings. Well, I can look around the league and I can say, well, you know what, Toronto's schedule looks just for the next, you know, month. They got some bad teams. I'm going to make an investment on them. So I make an investment on them. They win 10 out of 12 games. I get paid dividends on that. Turn around, sell it. Look for another team. Baseball is the best, right? Because there's so many games, and you know, like I say, I'm a Dodger fan. I get tickets in the Dodgers or investment in the Dodgers. Well, you look around, like last year, Cleveland went like whatever they did, right? 20 in a row or something like that. You get on a roll like that, hold on to it. You know, your shares go up, turn around, sell it, look for another team. Meanwhile, you're making money on wins, on the dividends, right? So, and then when there's a big trade, like last year when LeBron James, you knew he was going to sign. So LA was at the bottom of the, you know, to invest in them. So you buy shares of them, hold on for a couple of years. If he does what he's, you know, hopefully going to do, and this summer they're probably going to make more deals, their shares should go up. So it's such a fun concept. You don't have to invest. Well, actually they cap it. They will only let you invest, like, I think it's like maybe $2,000 or $1,500, because they don't want people coming in and, you know, spending $10,000-$20,000. Right. It's a fun thing. It's you can afford it, and they don't want people getting out of control. So to me, the concept's brilliant. And like, what fan, right? Like, I remember going back in the day in the forum, we had our true blue 10,000 diehard season. Yes. They would all want to feel like they own a piece of it. Yes. Whether they have a $10 share, $20 share, they own a piece of their team. And every true fan would love to feel like they own a piece of their team. So
absolutely.
I think that's awesome.
Now, how did you guys come up with this concept?
It was actually a guy out of Texas, one guy's out of Chicago, but it was my cousin. He was in it, and they were looking for someone to kind of open, a sports person to kind of open doors, and my cousin said, well, my cousin plays in the NHL, so I've been able to open up the doors. We've talked to the NHL about it. We talked to all or three of the four. I haven't talked to NBA or NFL, but they all love the concept. And the thing is, for us, is we're going to give back to the league. So everybody who buys shares in any NHL team, we give 50% of every transaction to the NHL for nothing. So it's free money for them. It's free money for all the sports. So why wouldn't you do it? No. And like I said, it's not gambling, even though everybody's worried about it being gambling. It's not. So once they figure that part out and realize that, so you're gonna give us free money for nothing. Absolutely.
Wow. So where do people go to do this? Because I can
right on
only
your
imagine.
Phone, on your computer, just go to allsportsmarket.com. We have an app, ASM app. Download the app, sign up. Sign up's free. Like I say, we got a free site. So you learn how to play it. You get X amount of dollars. Learn how to play it. When you feel comfortable, or you just want to go buy shares in your own team, fine. But then get comfortable to see how you can play it. Like I said, look around the league and go, okay, you know what? Maybe this year, you know, a football team, the Cleveland Browns, you know, they're the bottom of the pack. They look like they've made some deals. They might, so buy shares in them. Hold on for the year, see if they do all right, you know, and then turn around, sell them, look for another team. Meanwhile, you have shares in your own team. So it's awesome.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bernie, who do you think is going to win the cup this year?
My pick, if I was, I think Tampa has the best team.
Yeah.
I still say Winnipeg and Nashville on the west, but Vegas made a great deal at the deadline. They still got a great goalie, and their way to get there's easier. You know, Nashville and Winnipeg have to play one another, so they would meet these guys to the finals, semifinals. Calgary can be a sleeper on this side.
Yes.
I always take Pittsburgh because of Sid.
Yeah.
They can be dangerous, you know, and Washington, until you knock off the defending champs, they're still the champs. So to answer your question, I gave you 8 teams, I think. But if I had to pick one, I would take Tampa.
You think it's their year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to think you're right about that. Okay, so what is the one thing that people don't know about you?
Wow. I'm kind of thinking everybody knows everything about me. I really do. And then they know more than they think they know, because I don't know how many times oh yeah, hey, remember the time we were in New York and we all went out and we got hammered, and I always go, yeah, I remember, and I don't even drink, right? But oh, you know, we were out there and, you know, we all went and did this, and I just agree, you know, and no chance I was even there. But it's funny how much everybody thinks they know. But really they don't. So I think we can just leave it at that.
Okay, so if you hadn't been a hockey player for your career, what would you have been?
Yeah. Back to our earlier question, right? Since I was 3 years old, I started skating, and that's all I ever did, right? Like all through minor hockey, all through this and that. So I never even had a chance to do anything else.
Wow.
What I would probably be, you know, this isn't going to go well with a lot of people, but is an outdoor guide. Like I love hunting and fishing, right? Like that's all I do in the fall, from September till Christmas time. I'm in the bush somewhere hunting, and we do. My brother and I, we have a camp and we guide people. I'd maybe be doing that, because there's nothing, you know, more exciting for me than that. You know, golf. I golf every day in the summertime, but whether I'd be good enough to play that on tour, I don't know. Probably not.
Okay, so this is our 1 minute quick answer round.
Okay.
I'll ask you a series of questions and you'll answer as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
Who is the most influential person in your hockey career?
My dad.
If you weren't, I did that. Name one regret you have.
Probably didn't have the right leadership when I first got in NHL, as far as working out. I was the last person on the ice and the first person off, and I love being there, right? Like I loved the game, but I didn't work hard enough on my craft. Like I could have been in the weight room probably longer, got stronger, got faster. But I just had fun. It was just so much fun. I just played. It was a game. It wasn't a job. You know, I didn't think it was ever going to end, but I still think I could have been better. Like I said, if I'd have got to Chicago first with Chelios, I think I would have been way better.
What was the most rewarding thing you have done in your life?
Other than my kids.
I love your kids, obviously.
That was pretty cool. But just making it to the NHL was by far my greatest achievement.
You play golf. What is your handicap?
1.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
I don't want to tell many people that, because then they won't bet me. It's tough to get a game.
Who is the best in hockey right now?
Oh, Sidney Crosby.
Give me one word to describe your life.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, you've heard it here, guys. This is Bernie Nicholls. Thank you so much for your time, Bernie. It's been a pleasure. And tune in. This is Deb signing off.
Thanks, Deb.